In the town of Santa Isabel de Tepitzala near Cerro El Pinal in the municipality of Acajit, Puebla, an unusual event happened because 4 people, wanting to place a light pole to connect with these towns, were surprised that when they made the hole to bury the very heavy cement post, found a barrel with many gold coins here. The story was the year 1991 in the town of Tepitzala. Juan Tepit's family lived on the outskirts of this town near Cerro del Pinal. Cerro del Pinal was left to them. In front of them, the growth and infrastructure. Although the working people progressed very slowly, they did not stop producing. Well, the town continued to grow. And with it, the human settlements, which presented the need to have light in those directions, had already been making requests to the commission for a long time. They asked them to install light poles in their areas, but unfortunately they did not pay attention to them. The investment was large because they had to install several poles to bring the light cables almost reaching the foothills of Cerro del Pinal, and the commission perhaps did not suit them. After a lot of struggling and several requests, the family decides to call 3 more neighbors and cooperate to bring electricity to their homes. The neighbor Jose Soto had a brother-in-law who had worked on the commission, and he advised them to only buy the poles and they would install them, and then with this the electricity commission would be pressured and forced to put in the cable system. The brother-in-law named Jamie Beltran begins to make the plans and order those cement poles to be brought. Although they only collected 4 poles, they were more than enough to put pressure on the commission, but it would take more than 3 months to have them ready. Well, of course the suppliers supplied the commission and they were left last. If it hadn't been for Jamie, they wouldn't have had them after a lot of waiting, for people finally get together to take those posts to their different destinations, which would be at the foot of Cerro del Pinal. They began to make the holes for the first post, but Jamie, although he was supposedly the one who knew and had the experience, dislocated the wrist of one hand due to a bad movement of the crane when he wanted to place this post, and with a lot of work he managed to place that first post, but it would take another week because no one wanted to work if Mr. Jamie didn't go because he was the one who had the knowledge. But he tells them that they can continue alone. Simply let yourself be guided by the crane operator and you just pour water and place it. The others felt encouraged and continued the job. They managed to place 2 more posts. When they wanted to go for the last one, which would be already climbing the hill, the slope was very steep. Humid because the fog and the cold of the time naturally wet the entire ground. The crane could not climb, and in one of those that gets stuck with the pole carrying and a quite compromising inclination. Without a doubt an arduous and difficult task, but they still begin to dig that hole when suddenly, 1 meter deep, Mr. Juan Tepit came across a piece of wood with his shovel. It seemed strange to him. He warned the others, and they only commented that we would have to remove that piece of wood. Otherwise, he would not let them continue digging, even though they were already there. They were missing a few centimeters. Mr. Juan continues with his words, but he realized that that piece of wood was somewhat larger in the shape of a barrel or barrel. So together, they all began to make the hole a little bigger because this barrel was placed on its side. And they couldn't get it out until they dug more from the side. When they finally managed to remove that barrel or cask made of old wood and rusty metals, they realized that it was very heavy. Everyone with great expectation imagined the impossible. Juan proceeded to break part of the lid of the barrel. Well, it was as if sealed, and for their good luck, that barrel was full of 2 peso gold coins from the years of 1945. They remained without saying a word, and they forgot about the pole that was hanging from the crane. There were 4 of them who were all working. They left the well without placing the post and returned with everything and crane to Juan's house. They spoke to Jamie to tell him what they found in total. 1,200 gold coins, all of 2 pesos, which were distributed equally between 5 parties. Of course this no one knew about it because they knew how to keep the secret and thus not cause disagreements and envy that are never lacking. This story was sent to us by Mr. Edgar Tepit, son of Don Juan Tepit, who was kind enough to share his extraordinary story with all of you and encouraging you to treasure hunters, telling them that there are still many treasures buried in our beautiful Mexico. If you like this true story, please give us a like and don't forget to subscribe to this and our new channel Exploring Stories. See you soon.